Hi, my wonderful friends. I want to talk about in this video daily routines. This is something that I don't know in the last year or so has become like very popular, it seems like. But I want to just validate you with that this is something that's been happening in Ayurveda and a lot of other practices for like 5 or 6 thousand years. So if you are feeling that need to like connect and have some anchor points in your day, keep listening to that because you are right on. Um, and we are modern day folks who have busy lives, and it can feel overwhelming uh, to find time. It can also, for those of us who are like, you can't tie me down with a routine. I'm too fun and cool for that. But secretly, I really need structure. Um, there's both sides of this, right? So I just wanted to speak to a few things, and I get that question often of what what some of my day looks like. So I'm here just to share and maybe answer some of those questions. But how to really show up for yourself in small ways all day long. So we're gonna treat these as some practices that even though it's as simple as stretching or foam rolling or washing my face or scraping my tongue or whatever the thing is, that these all of these little practices are pieces to the recipe, right? That um, help me, number one, connect to myself. If I allow or I'm interested in connecting to something bigger than myself, that is also there, kind of to like clear away any gook and polish up. Um, but really to like also give myself structure and to give my body predictability, which AKA predictability for many of our nervous systems leads to safety or this feeling of like um, maybe even calmness, right? So my body knows and begins to know what to expect. And then magically, my anxiety starts to get less, or the more that I'm feeding myself consistently, my body is like, oh, I don't have to worry about that, right? So, this is all like many little puzzle pieces putting together the big picture. And so also remember that we don't have to like take all of this and do it all at once. That like we can just test and try each of these out and see how we might like or connect to them. And if we want to keep them, we keep them. And if we want to save them for a different time or never do them, that's okay too. So this is a practice of really meeting yourself where you are. This can be, how do I get myself to show up on my yoga mat every day? We're meeting ourselves right where we are, right? Um, and so I'll speak first to yoga and then secondly to some of the other bodily practices that I have been currently using. Um, because it can be hard, like, especially if we are becoming more devoted to some of the practices and we really want to, we have this burning desire to show up, but man, it's so hard to like find that consistency for myself, or actual physical dedication to sit in my meditation or to move in my asana. So again, meeting myself right where I am. And my number one thought on that is to really personalize it for me because it is my practice and nobody knows if I do it. No one's here checking up on me. Nobody asks, am I doing this or doing that? But this is my own personal practice. And for me, that changes not only seasonally, but just cyclically. And it changes by sometimes I just don't want to move like that. And sometimes I need to because that's a good medicine for me. And sometimes I know that there's nothing to force or to push through. Hopefully that makes sense. So give yourself what you want first. So if I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do it, and I just want to sit or I just want to lay, do that. That will likely help you transition into like what we actually need. This time of year, I want to lay, I want to be cozy, but actually, I might need a little fire. I might need a little like tiny light sweat. And then I'm like, oof, actually, that did feel so good to me, right? So, give yourself what you want first. And so that could be the opposite. I really have a lot of energy and I'm jittery and I can't sit for my meditation. Go move fast, dance, go for a walk, get all the things out, burn it up, and then likely you will be able to sit a little easier. So give yourself what you want first, and then it will lead you to probably what you actually need to do. The second thing is hold please, I think I'll wait on that. But really we want to, I will show you, sorry. I keep a little basket of goodies like handy and things that I like. A heating pad's really important to me pretty much all year long. I like having it just on my shoulders or back of my head. This one's a little heavier, so I like personally the weight. I have a strap. I have some like little lacrosse balls. I have a foam roller. So you don't have to have all these fancy things. I really truly believe like our hands and simple things are good and are perfectly okay. A lot of the other things they just want to sell us. So if you don't have a yoga strap, maybe you have a belt or a scarf or whatever. But just to kind of put it all in one spot, I think is helpful for us to have it easily in our way. Okay, and then I will show you what I do with that in just a couple of minutes. So ways that we can help ourselves get there. Sometimes there's a piece of us or a part of us that really needs a challenge. So challenge yourself to a certain number of days in a row. Was number one. Sometimes we just need that. And it can be little bits. I'm not talking a full out 60 minutes here. It could be, I'm going to just do 5 minutes here at lunchtime. I'm going to do 5 minutes before bedtime, or I'm going to do this, as many days in a row as I can. I'm going to shoot for 7 days. Okay. And then maybe you meet yourself in this idea of each day is very different, especially if I'm living in a female body, because I am a cyclical being. So what that might look like this week might look very different next week. So again, meeting yourself there and recognizing what our body's physical needs actually might be. I'm not probably going to be doing a HIIT class like when I'm on my period, right? I'm going to be doing something more restorative. But that next week when my energy swoops back up and I'm ready to like move big, I'm probably taking a higher intensity workout, or if I'm ovulating, doing some more like sensual type dancing, right? So allowing yourself to really recognize where you are in each day. Maybe what are the milestones that you want to hit per week, right? It's okay to have goals. Goals are good. Goals are fun, and they give us something to like really move towards. So what are milestones you might want to hit? Set a timer and just free flow move. Some of you, that might cause a big panic when I say that. Free flow move. But just so there's no rules, and see what it's like to have no rules. If you are a rulesy person, I will give you something at the end of little ways you can move. Play music. Put on and just say, I am going to just move for these 2 to 3 songs in any way that I want to, or maybe you follow a certain regimen. Start with something like, I'm only going to do my favorite. I'm only going to do my favorite poses. I'm only going to do my favorite lifts. I'm only going to blank. And just let your favorites be there, because we're not looking to move or even find consistency right now out of punishment or shame. That is not going to be very sustainable. Work with a prop. So it's fun to play with how many ways can I make this yoga block work for me, or how many poses can I use this strap, right? Something like that, just to get some of that creativity moving, because creativity is really part of life force energy. And we also know, like, just do child's pose. Just start with child's pose. find yourself being supported, whether it's in child's pose or legs up the wall or a shavasana, like, and allow your body the rest that it's actually needing and requiring. And this would include practices like Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra is actually this wonderful liminal in-between place to be of rest and activity, because so much is happening energetically while at the same time we're cultivating a deeper space for rest and for manifesting. So these two are all ways just to show up every day. And we're doing that out of a place of, I'm wanting to connect, I'm wanting to show myself love or show myself support. Because again, when we're showing up with different intention, it changes the quality of our movement, it changes the quality of our mind, and of many emotions probably too. If we don't feel like we have self-awareness, a lot of times this leaves us feeling lost. So that's why just starting very simply is where it's a good place to start, and even sprouting out of this intention. So, this word tapas is in yoga, this idea of heat and effort and also discipline, but it's this balance, this interplay of like surrendering and letting go, because I got to let go of some control in that also, and having discipline. And so finding this it's okay to achieve while also understanding that I can't really control much of it. It's a really interesting place to work with. So really what it is, in my opinion, it's a gift of consistency, again, of living in our body. And I can see what I'm doing for me each day. And when we're living in our head versus living in our body, that's going to lead us to work just always here. So allowing ourselves space to like drop down and see what our needs are and meet these needs, and respond instead of react to it, and to really create some habits and allow us the awareness that's really necessary for the transformation that we might want to be making, or the transformation we might actually need. And it's this beautiful dance of, when do I give effort and when do I surrender? And so really, like, when is enough has been a big question for me in my healing journey, because I know many of us, if you're just like me, you can push through much. You can push through tiredness, you can push through injury or illness, because we need to get to a certain way. And that's not what this is speaking to. This is speaking to, like, how do I really just like settle in and be with myself and get to know myself in these different ways, and support, and also connect with the power of this energy moving through me, right? And yeah, there's so much to this of just, it's so simple to say, I'm just going to show up, but really, like, again, remembering what are my intentions and why do I even want to do that? Okay, before I show you the strap work, I'll speak a little more specifically to Ayurvedic routine, of this idea of daily routine. And so in Ayurveda, this term would be dinacharya, and dina, D-I-N-A, means daily. Charya, ritual, rhythm, a movement towards something, right? And so these can look like so many things, and it also can start to sound or feel a little rulesy. And we're not looking for it to be rules, because that messes things up again. But this idea of moving me towards liberation, moving me towards less suffering, moving me towards more connection, comfort, right? These are really like, these routines are a statement about like how I want to really live in my life. Living my life like it is a big giant ceremony, to to me as a living creature in this world, instead of just checking boxes. Oh, I did it today. Good job. Good girl. Right? That this is a lot fuller. This is a lot fuller and actually more alive feeling in my experience. So these ideas of, I want to talk this idea of physical realm. So think about a tree, that we have this physical tree, and then this more like spiritual, emotional piece running through the inside, the sap, right? The sap that's alive and well, and this idea of our vitality that we're really tending to. And this is a great way to be measuring health, and how to stay juicy, right? Like as we age, we begin this drying out process, thinking about what trees go through and how the leaves fall away at a certain point in the year. They dry up and fall away. And so this is where we connect also to nature within our bodies. So this idea of first actions in the day, AM is considered like the birthing hours, right? This time and space where it's dark, it's quiet, it's still, but like a lot is happening, right? And it's a very special time of the morning, right? That this is where I'm birthing my day, or I'm birthing some projects, or preparing myself to do so. And so really it's an initiation to, like, those first things that I do are an initiation to how my day might go. I can't control a lot, but I can work with these, right? And so how am I contributing towards how I want to live? How am I contributing towards how I want to live? And so for me, I've learned, I know I need a really good night's sleep to have a good morning, because there's a period in there where I'm like, if I don't catch it, I will just go right back to sleep and sleep, right? And that's good. Sometimes I need that. But for me, like paying attention, I know that if I go to bed at a good time, that I'm ready to prepare myself and wake up hungry for life, hungry for food, hungry for movement, and to tend to this vitality within me. And also coming back to that idea of how much is enough. These aren't check boxes. There is nothing to do perfectly, and that can be so hard for us, right? So things that you could do, these are not musts, right? To tend to this vitality are just like finding anchor points. Find anchor points in your day. What is the time that you will wake up? And what does that need to look like? And maybe it's not, sometimes there are seasons in life where I do need to get up and do things before the kids, right? That is real. But also, am I sacrificing sleep to get in high, hard movement that just puts me into a stress state? We have to find and personalize this all the way back to the beginning, that this is so personal and that we are not like these cookie cutter beings. So other things we can be doing on finding a wake up time and finding a bedtime. Trying to wake up as close to sunrise as we can, those birthing hours, right? And so it's waking up and getting in touch with that quiet space that exists. Drinking some warm water. It could be warm plain, warm ginger, warm lemon, all the fads, but these few are really like a go button, a wake up to the digestive system to say like, we're back awake, we're ready to do this. And so allowing ourselves time and space just to start with something warm and soothing is really important to the digestive system. Gently scraping your tongue, that's a whole nother talk, but tongue scraping with the back of a spoon, or you can buy a tongue scraper, just removes the coating of essentially watching what's coming up out of us, out of our intestine and out of our liver and all these wonderful things. So really this is just kind of clearing one more path or channel to allow our hormones to get moving and functioning. And then washing our face, right? You could use a neti pot. That's become an important practice for me, even before I practiced Ayurveda. Self-massage with oils is also become a really important practice to me. It's very grounding and soothing. Bathing, is hard. Bathing can be hard I just don't have the energy, right? And so this just finding these rhythms and these anchor points of tending to the body. And then even breathing. And then when will I eat? When will I just sit and breathe? Right? This could be just a few minutes of in and out. I'm inhaling, I am exhaling, just allowing it simple. But just continuing out throughout the day. When will I move? How do I want to move, right? And just even knowing that these might have to, if you're a very scheduled person, these might actually have to go into your calendar. And if you're not a scheduled person, maybe they still need to go in your calendar. I don't know. But I think once we begin to connect with our why and connect with how it feels when we're doing it, or how we feel when we have completed it, it changes. It changes. So finding some anchor points throughout the day, I think, is really important. But those are just a few things you could do, right? And again, not check boxes or have tos. I want to just end us with, these little, what I do. And so a quick little, if you need to have that basket, keeping your things handy. But I will just even start with it doesn't even have to be, big movements, but we're just doing some strap work. So just pulling and moving. We can hook this on our feet and lay on our back, open and close our hips. But just, beginning and taking some time with some strap work. And maybe I'll even put this into a full video for you, but we'll just do the quick version today. And then move into tabletop. So on your hands and knees, and just waking up the spine, dropping and rolling your shoulders, and doing some circles, open and close. But just seeing how these work and feel for you. I'll come back and just do some hip circles. And a seated tree, so one leg in, one leg out. I think a really nice, I don't have another block in here, but I'll use my roller, but just even supporting. So it just can be really gentle and easy, but taking time here. You could even put it in the middle and then rest here. We can stand and take a pyramid pose. So pyramid pose is one foot in front of the other. We're about mat distance apart and just going forward. And then we'll open to a wide-legged fold. And then to a lunge. And then you'll just repeat this on the side, right? So we would come and do the other side. And a deep squat. Just hanging, sitting. This is another great place just to put a block under your bottom. And you can spend as much or as little time in these as you want, but then just coming down and maybe now I'm just ready to sit and put my hands on my body and just spending some time inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Yeah, and just taking time, and maybe this is your meditation. This is your moment of connecting and hitting the pause button. Because those first moments, these routines, they really begin to define how I want to feel and how I want to show up in my life and in my body. All right, reach out with any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.